When you were naming your babies, if you talk to your parents or your in-laws or like your grandparents about baby names, were there any names that next generation just had like a viscerally negative reaction to? I'm always surprised in my comments or in real life conversations, the names that to my generation feel very like normal and mainstream, that the next generation is like vehemently opposed to. A recent example, I was talking to a woman I see a few times a month, and she was expecting her third grandson, and she's telling me all the names her daughter was considering for him. Then she makes this face and she goes, "And Henry." And she's like, "That's the name of like a chain-smoking mechanic if I've ever heard one," which I just thought was funny. I told her how popular it was, and she was like baffled. She's like, "No way people are naming their babies Henry. Like that is a crotchety old man name." And I was like, "Not anymore." Like for my generation, I think if I hear Henry, I think of cute little toddlers. But she's like, if I hear Henry, I think of chain-smoking mechanics. And two girls' names that I hear over and over again from like the today's generation of grandparents that they are opposed to are Eleanor and Evelyn. And those, I feel like, again, I think of cute little toddlers, but they think of, like, you know, their best friend from high school is Grumpy Mom or something like that. But then it just gets me to thinking, like, if I have kids one day and they want to have kids and they're talking to me about baby names and they also maybe share my interest in vintage names, their vintage names are going to be very different than the vintage names that I consider to be vintage. So like if they're talking to me about the names they're considering, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow. If they're, "Yeah, we really want to use a vintage name. We're thinking something like Jessica." I hope I keep up with like the trends and stay like hip with the baby name times, even when I'm well past my own baby naming years, but we'll see. I do think it'll be interesting to hear those names that like the next generation that's not even born yet starts to consider.